Hey everyone, welcome. My name's Jem.
I'm Terence.
What's good, people? I haven't been on the channel for a little while, so thanks for coming back. I'm going to get straight to it. Why did Terence and I drop story points? We've been in this space for a little while, and Terence, you can speak for yourself. I will tell you that I was an advocate for story points. I began using them in the, say, mid noughties all the way up to like 2015, but we saw something and it changed the way that we viewed them. Terence, what do you think?
Yeah, I think well, I mean, if you think story points were introduced to answer a couple of questions. How much work can we do in a sprint? How do we size work as well? How and the two are closely related, right? Are we getting better? Are we getting faster? So when we looked at story points, we started realizing potentially they're not helping us answer those key questions.
Mm. And just by the way, if you don't know what story points are, there is another video on this channel, estimation. Check it out. Watch that. Come on back here. And
Yeah.
Terence, let me just dovetail from what you just said. So, what is the purpose of story points? Story points were built for software developers because what was the alternative? Using time and hours.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back long enough, we used to estimate how long, how long will this work take? How many hours will it be? We put it in a Gantt chart. We try and guess how much work people can do that way.
Yeah.
Now that was proven to be really ineffective.
Mm.
As soon as people started the work, we realized that we're really bad at estimating how long stuff will take. So points were supposed to be a move away from time, right? But if we try and estimate how long things will take, the problem with time is if it's 5 hours for the senior developer, is it 5 hours for the junior developer?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, right? A junior developer often takes longer than a senior or someone that's been in the company for a long time and knows the code base really well. So
Mm.
there was a recognition that we're really bad at estimating in time
Yeah.
how long things will take. So story points were supposed to be an answer to that.
Yeah. And I think Ron Jeffries was a big inspiration behind creating it. And
He'll probably
he's
hate that
come
you
out.
said that, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly right, exactly. Yeah, and Ron Jeffries has come out and said that something around if I built this thing, I'm kind of sorry because
Sorry, yeah.
maybe it's not doing what it's meant to do. But I want to come back to this again quickly. So story points allow you to relatively size things, right?
Yeah, the theory was we're bad at estimating how long something will take, but we're better at saying, is this job the same size or smaller or bigger than this job?
Yeah, and by the way, I think relative sizing is still useful, it's still powerful. But what we're saying is that if you're sitting down with a group of people, your software developers, and you're talking about points, you have to educate them on what this stuff means, right? You have
Yeah.
to educate the business on what it means, and also it can be quite expensive in time to go through the process of estimation in points.
Yes.
So we're talking about the question as, is the cost worth the benefit? Because story pointing may have the benefits of building alignment, we agree, relative sizing, we agree, but is it worth it? Well, how do we define if it's worth it? Well, what did we see that answered that question that put us off? What graph did we see?
Yeah, we started thinking about um, really what's important to the customer, which is how long will it take for them to see what they've asked for? And then so we started tracking how long the work items were taking
Yeah.
and how many work items we could do in a sprint. And then we started correlating that with the story points, right? So you'd think we're saying our story points actually helping us. Do more story points mean more time taken
Yes.
for the customer to see the benefits? And that's where it got quite interesting when we started mapping that out in a scatter plot chart.
So that, like the time taken and the story point of the said items.
Yes, exactly right. And we started seeing that while there might be a very loose correlation, there wasn't really much of one, to be honest.
So what does that look like? Let's say I remember when we we're looking at the eights. So PBIs, product backlog items that were given an effort or a Fibonacci rating of an 8, and PBIs as ones. Was there a correlation between the two?
Very little. So when you look, if you think about an 8 bit and a 1, 8 being 8 times bigger and than a 1, when you looked at how long things took end to end, if you took away the label to say these are the 8 points, these are the 1 points, you probably wouldn't be able to tell which was 8 and which was 1.
Right. So, and can I just take a quick step back here? Because some people are going to watch this and say, hold on a second, story points were not designed for time, but you guys are talking about time. Well, I want to be a little bit bold here. Every single team that you work with, and please feel free to challenge us in the comments, what you take on into your sprint is turned in and converted into the currency of time. Because you're walking out, right, and you're saying, we can get 30 or 40 points done. And every single product owner, most organizations will say, this is a team of 10 people, they can do X amount of work in this period of time. That means we should be focused on this release to do this amount. So whether you say it or not, it's going to be positioned in some form of time to manage expectations as to, manage the expectation as to what you're going to deliver. So I just want to put that out as a side dish. It's going to be converted.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So
And if you really want to get a bit more in depth into it, I mean, we've all heard of Little's Law, but it shows that there's a strong correlation between how much work you can do in a sprint with how long each work item takes to be worked on.
Yes.
So we won't go into it in depth now, but that's why it can be really important to look at how long does each work item take end to end.
Yes, exactly that. And so again, where we got to was when we saw the picture of like really low correlation between, say, the effort of the work or complexity. By the way, we're using all of these words, we can use them interchangeably, right? So we're talking about how long does it take for a PBI, a piece of work to go to done. And that might involve work which is, say, complex or it's arduous. We're using all those terms. It still equates to the same thing. How long does that thing from to do take to go to done? You've spent all of this time estimating, educating, talking about Fibonacci, talking about points, educating the business, and they really don't understand what a point is anyway. Understandably, why would they care? To find out that the correlation is low or it's at best it's weak. And
Yes.
we asked the question, why the hell are we doing it then?
Yeah. Why are we investing this time, this effort into describing what points are, into playing planning poker, putting all this effort into it, and when you look at the data, they're not really helping us that much.
Exactly that. And by the way, what we're not saying is if you join a team tomorrow and they're using story points and they're finding value in it and they can manage expectation and what they believe they can deliver, we're not saying stop, right? We're not saying just throw it away, right? There's a part of coaching where you've got to meet people where they are and so on. But what we are saying is if you have an interest in finding a more optimal way to get to the outcome of managing business expectation, helping the team feel confident about what they can take in, developing a level of predictability in a complex domain, then you should consider getting in touch because is it June 8th we're shooting for, Terence? I'm trying to remember now. Is it?
It is June the 1st.
June the 1st. There you go. So we're putting in another session of a data skills course. And a lot of you will know, right? It's about Kanban and Kanban metrics. It's not just that. And of course, you can go and learn these things by yourself. But as with everything, some of these ideas can feel complicated when you're only book smart. And Terence and I have been around this topic for a little while now. So if you want to learn a practical way, like tangible, visceral skills to walk away from a one-day skills workshop where you've left that room and you now know how to be able to use something other than story points to manage business expectations, then yeah, you should maybe get in touch and we'll see if we can get you on there. We're going to limit it to 16 people. We prefer smaller groups so that we can help people acquire skill and not just walk away with the textbook knowledge.
Yep, definitely.
Awesome.
Join us. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah. Thanks very much and see you in a bit. Thank you.
Thanks.